Things Fall Apart reference summary, pages 125 to 150. The missionaries build a church. They want a place to build, and the tribe gives them a piece of evil forest. They figure, we don't want that. Nobody would want that. After you figure out what you got, you won't want it either, and you will leave. They end up building a church on it. Everyone assumes something terrible will happen. Certainly, it'll happen within, I don't know, 30 days or 2 moons or 3 moons, whatever their rule is, but nothing comes to happen, and the church gains a lot of credibility. Nuo Yi eventually joins the Christians. He is not the first. There are probably a dozen or more converts. Okonkwo gives up on him completely and thinks him weak. The church then, after Nuo Yi joins, this was almost a test of Nuo Yi's faith, accepts Osu, which are outcasts. Outcasts are somehow labeled from very young or birth or at some point in their life as an Osu. An Osu is cursed. They are not allowed to participate in events with the rest of people. They cannot marry regular people from the society. They help with the shrine in some regards. They do have some sort of religious purpose, but they are outcast. They are shunned, and even their children are shunned. I don't know how you get to be un-Osu'd. Apparently, once you are labeled an Osu, you are stuck with it. And I don't know, it sounds to me almost like a popularity contest in reverse. Somebody doesn't like you, the wrong person doesn't like you, and everybody starts calling you Osu. And now you and your kids are labeled basically cursed. Nobody wants to have anything to do with you. Well, these people, of course, hear about the church and they're going, there's a place that they will accept us. Really? Let's check it out. So they go to the church and the church accepts Osu, and that causes quite a ruckus. At first, a lot of people are thinking they can't stay. There's no way that they can't tolerate being around Osu. That's the way they were raised, even though they're no longer doing that. Then they're supposed to be Christian. They can't be around these people. And the Mr. Kiyaga says no. These people need the church more than anybody else. And when he accepts some of the Osu, all of them hear about it, and almost all of them join. So there's a great bringing of people. He has them shave off all of their long hair that they're not supposed to ever shave because they're Osu. He has them shun all of their cursed ways and act like normal people, and thus he gains quick converts and very very fast because they were considered not even people, so to speak, before, and now all of a sudden he has these people after he's accepted them. Rumors start about the Christians killing the sacred python. They don't know what to do about this because you don't fight for your gods. The gods fight for themselves. If you kill a python, it's likely that in the night you'll have a heart attack and just drop dead or something. Some weird thing will happen to you. The gods fight for themselves, and people don't usually get in the way. If you get in the way, you might get stomped by the gods who are trying to stomp the people who they want to stomp. So you are told not to even get involved. And a lot of people don't want anything to do with it. So they say, well, let's just ostracize them, which means they can't share our water, they can't share our chalk mine, they can't share our market. We want nothing to do with them, and they can't have our resources. And that looked pretty serious for a bit, and it like they were going to do something about it when all of a sudden Okoli, the person who was suspected of killing the sacred python in the first place, got sick and died. And then everybody went, oh, well, you know, I guess that the sacred python took a while to decide to kill him and then took care of it itself. Guess our gods are still nice and strong now. What do you know? And back to business as usual. And then they just forgot about it. It ended hostilities. Okonkwo waits and finishes out his exile. And he throws a thank you party for his uncle and extended family. And then his return, he has banked a lot of money through farming over the years again. He will return with two beautiful daughters, who he convinced, please don't get married while you're out there. You can, because I know you're just beautiful and everybody wants you out here. But if you wait until I go back, it will help me. And Azinma understands and explains it to Obiageli. So they both come back as bachelorettes, the beautiful bachelorettes that everybody is going to want to marry when they see them. So he's going to return with these two beautiful daughters, which will cause a stir. He could possibly make a political marriage, little with the girl's blessing to an extent. He has investments going from when he left through sharecropping his yams. He pictures bringing his other boys into the Ozo title system, and he dreams of attaining the highest title in the land. So he's really excited about all of his prospects. He returns and everything is different. Christianity came first and then government. Government was native but local men enforcing white men's laws. What they mean by that is it first visits the coast, and then people become educated, they become literate, and they know the ways of the laws, and they know the ways of the religion, and then some of those people get brought further in when they need to bring in that first government, and they first need to have officers arrest people who are violating the laws when it comes to the white men and the Christians, and they bring in that government. They're going to bring in people from the previous town that they developed. See? And so they're natives, but they're not from around here. They're not local. And so people are confused about that. They don't like it. They're getting told what to do and how to do it and being bossed around by people who are wearing government uniforms that have their skin color that look like them but don't speak exactly like them and come from a long ways away. The white men's religion, then government, then brings jails, courts, and nobody wants to challenge the government because they wiped out Abeme with those powerful guns, as they describe. And as I explained, there's a technology shift going on at this time. If they wanted to bring out real guns compared to the old black powder things that everybody had up until now, it would be just night and day, ridiculous power differences between a modern lever action rifle and with black powder in the cases, which has so much more power and so much more speed than the old black powder, and accuracy. It's night and day, and it would just be a totally unfair fight with the new technology. So they wiped out Abeme, and everybody remembered it. Nobody wants to have anything to do with that. Their ranks, the Christians, were made up also of sons, daughters, of everybody, and as such, you can't kill them. If you kill them, that's an intentional bad. Okonkwo's accident was banishment for 7 years because it was an accident. I mean, if you kill somebody on purpose, that's you're related to by blood or by they're in your village. That's a horrendous thing. They might take your life. I believe that was mentioned by Uchendu, that they could take even your life. Prosperity. Prosperity is also going on. We keep hearing it from Okonkwo's perspective, how terrible everything is. But the trading post brings in valuable tools and goods. And there are people who learn to work with the new language and become literate and do shipping and trading and work with the church or government and do really well. And they live very prosperously, and people are very happy to have all of the new things showing up with new steel tools and new cloth and textiles. That's what they call cloth goods, things like that. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that they get now that they didn't have before. They're very happy about it. So there's a lot of people that are seeing the arrival of Christianity and government as a good thing. And so the people are far too divided on this issue to act. So you just know that if they're too divided, it's just going to remain. The missionaries. Mr. Kiaga was the first to settle, and he built the church in Evil Forest, and he was very patient, but he was replaced by Mr. Brown, who is even more patient. He was super tolerant. He wants to move slow. He goes out of his way not to make trouble, and he gets super far with respect. He has lots and lots of people attend the school. They become literate, and then they go and work in a government job. So he's done a great job by going slow and being respectful to get a lot of converts and a lot of people going in this direction, which the more that do, the less chance you're going to have an out fight, because a lot of people are going to say, no, don't tell them to stop. I like that. I do that. You may not like it, but I like it. And then you're gonna gain, as you gain followers, you're gonna gain less problems, and less violence, and more just discussions and arguments and policies. It is not the same at all. Okonkwo's return does not cause much of a stir. And this is really got to be a sad shock to him. He can't initiate his sons into Oza society because it is 2 years off. They only do it once every 3 years, and he missed it. He does have two beautiful daughters who are of marrying age, and they cause quite a stir from that perspective, but only that. And life has changed massively with the new ways, religion, literacy, government, and trade occupying all the attention, and there's no interest in the things that Okonkwo held so dear. They're almost not mentioned and just forgotten about. He doesn't know what's happened while he's been gone. So it's just not the same at all. That's the end of the section.